stop. Before you give your dog that leftover scrap from your plate, you need to hear this. You think you are giving them a treat? You might actually be handing them a medical emergency. There are 12 ingredients in your kitchen, things you probably ate today, that science has proven are toxic to your dog's organs. And the scariest part? It doesn't happen all at once. It is a silent, invisible damage that builds up with every single bite. You love them. I know you do. But love isn't enough if you don't know the truth. Let's open your fridge and find these silent killers before it is too late. The first food on our list is perhaps the most deceptive of them all. It is something we associate with childhood, with comfort, and, ironically, something we often use to hide medication or fill Kong toys to keep our dogs busy. I am talking about peanut butter. Now, before you panic, I need you to listen very closely, because this distinction is a matter of life and death. You love them, and you want to see that tongue lapping up a treat with pure joy. But there is a silent killer lurking in many modern peanut butter jars, a sweet assassin called xylitol. You see, in our quest for lower sugar diets for ourselves, manufacturers have started replacing sugar with birch sugar, or xylitol. To a human body, this is harmless. But to a dog, it is catastrophic. When a dog ingests even a tiny amount of xylitol, their body mistakes it for real sugar and releases a massive, sudden surge of insulin. This isn't just a tummy ache. Within minutes, literally, while you are still smiling at them enjoying their treat, their blood sugar can crash to fatal levels. It is called hypoglycemia. We're talking about seizures, disorientation, and liver failure that happens so fast you might not even make it to the emergency vet. Imagine the guilt of knowing that the healthy treat you gave them to show love was actually the weapon that hurt them. It is a heartbreak no owner should ever face. If you must give peanut butter, you have to be a detective. Read that label like your dog's life depends on it, because it does. Look for one ingredient and one ingredient only: roasted peanuts. If you see xylitol or birch sugar, keep it far, far away. But sweet things aren't the only trap. The second food is something that smells like heaven on a Sunday morning. It's the smell of home, of family breakfast. Bacon, sausages, and processed deli meats. I know, it is so hard to resist. You are making a sandwich or frying up breakfast, and there they are, doing a little dance, begging for just one strip. You think, it's meat. Dogs eat meat. It's fine. But this is not the meat their ancestors hunted in the wild. This is a salt bomb. Processed meats are loaded with sodium levels that a dog's small kidneys were never designed to handle. But the immediate danger isn't just thirst or high blood pressure. It is pancreatitis. This is a condition that is as painful as it sounds. The high fat and salt content in that one slice of bacon can trigger the pancreas to start digesting itself. It creates an inflammation so severe that your dog can go from happy and wagging to hunched over in agony, vomiting, and unable to move within hours. And let's not forget the preservatives. Nitrates, which give ham that pink color, are linked to cancer when consumed long-term. Is that fleeting moment of taste worth the risk of a chronic, painful disease? Instead, if you want to share the joy of meat, boil a plain piece of chicken breast. No salt, no skin. They will love it just as much, and you will sleep better knowing you didn't burden their body. Now, let's move to something you might grab when you are in a rush. Number 3. Instant noodles. We have all been there. It's late, you're tired, you make a quick bowl of ramen, and you let your dog lick the bowl or give them a few strands. It seems like just flour and water, right? Wrong. This is one of the most chemically laden foods you could possibly share. The seasoning packets in instant noodles are a toxic cocktail for canines. They are packed with onion powder, garlic powder, and massive amounts of MSG and sodium. We are talking about sodium levels that can cause salt poisoning in a small dog. In the noodles themselves, they are often deep-fried before being dried, meaning they are heavy with processed, saturated fats that offer absolutely zero nutritional value. You are essentially feeding them empty calories that tax their liver and kidneys while contributing to obesity. It is a filler food that displaces the nutrients they actually need. When you feed them this, you aren't nourishing them. You are just filling their stomach with a chemical load that their body has to work overtime to detoxify. If you want to add a topper to their dinner, simple, plain brown rice or quinoa is a gesture of love. Instant noodles are a gesture of neglect disguised as sharing. This brings us to number 4, a food that has a health halo around it, which makes it even more dangerous because we think we are doing something good. Flavored yogurt. You hear everywhere that probiotics are good for dogs, that it helps their gut, and that is true. But the yogurt in your fridge, the one with the strawberry at the bottom, or the vanilla swirl, that is a sugar grenade. Most commercial flavored yogurts are packed with refined sugars, or, terrifyingly, artificial sweeteners like the xylitol we mentioned earlier. But even without the toxic sweeteners, the sugar load feeds bad bacteria in their gut, doing the exact opposite of what you intended. Furthermore, we often forget that adult dogs are largely lactose intolerant. They don't have the enzyme lactase in their stomachs to break down dairy properly. So that healthy scoop of yogurt can lead to gas, bloating, and painful diarrhea that they can't tell you about. They just suffer in silence, curling up in a corner while their stomach churns. If you want to give them probiotics, it has to be plain Greek yogurt, or even better, a supplement designed for dogs. Don't let marketing for humans trick you into hurting your dog's digestion. Speaking of crunch, let's talk about number 5. This one is terrifying because of how small the lethal dose can be. Nuts. Specifically, macadamia nuts and walnuts. You might be snacking on a trail mix while watching a movie, and a nut rolls under the sofa. Your dog, being the scavenger they are, finds it. Macadamia nuts are arguably the most mysterious and potent toxin for dogs in the nut family. Science still doesn't fully understand why, but we know what happens. Within 12 hours of eating just a few nuts, a dog can lose the ability to walk. Their back legs give out. They develop tremors, a high fever, and vomiting. It attacks their nervous system directly. Imagine the panic of seeing your dog try to stand up to greet you, but their legs just collapse underneath them. It looks like paralysis. And moldy walnuts, often found if you have trees in your yard, contain mycotoxins that can cause seizures. Even safe nuts, like almonds, are dangerous choking hazards and are so high in fat that they can trigger that painful pancreatitis we talked about. If your dog needs a crunch, give them a slice of cucumber or a carrot stick. It's the sound of the crunch they love, not the toxin inside the nut. Now, number 6 is a staple in many pantries that we assume is healthy because it comes from the ocean. Canned fish, particularly tuna. We think, it's fish, it's omega-3s, it's good for their coat. And in theory, fish is great. But canned tuna made for humans is a different story. There are 2 major problems here. First, heavy metals. Tuna, being a large predatory fish, accumulates high levels of mercury. For a human weighing 150 pounds, it's manageable in moderation. For a dog weighing 20 or 50 pounds, that mercury builds up in their tissues over time, leading to heavy metal toxicity, which can damage their kidneys and nervous system. It's a slow poison. Second, the packing liquid. Is it oil? That's pure fat that upsets their stomach. Is it brine? That is concentrated salt water that can dehydrate them instantly. Feeding your dog canned tuna is like playing a long-term game of Risk with their internal organs. If you want to give them the benefit of fish, look for small, short-lived fish like sardines packed in water with no salt added, or cook a piece of plain salmon yourself. Don't let convenience compromise their long-term health. Moving on to number 7. This is perhaps the most common crime of love committed at the dinner table. Rotisserie chicken. You buy one for dinner, you carve it up, and you give the dog the skin, or maybe the carcass, to chew on. It seems so natural, primal even. But store-bought rotisserie chickens are marinating in a bath of sodium and spices. The skin is a concentrated layer of fat and salt. But the real danger often lies in the seasoning, onion powder and garlic powder, which are rubbed deep into the meat. We will talk more about why those are deadly in a moment. But just know that the tasty part of the chicken is the toxic part for them. And the bones? Cooked bird bones are brittle. They don't break cleanly. They shatter into shards. Swallowing a cooked chicken bone is like swallowing a needle. It can puncture the stomach or the intestines, leading to a slow, agonizing death from peritonitis, internal infection, that requires emergency surgery to fix. Never, ever give cooked bones. If you want to share chicken, peel off the skin, wash the meat to remove surface spices, and make sure there are absolutely no bones. Number 8 is a childhood dream that we project onto our dogs: dairy and ice cream. We see videos online of dogs licking ice cream cones, and we think it's adorable. We want to give them that moment of summer bliss. But biologically, it is a nightmare. As we touched on with yogurt, once a puppy is weaned from its mother, its body stops producing the enzyme needed to digest milk. When you feed them ice cream, you are feeding them a lactose bomb combined with massive amounts of sugar. And let's not forget the flavors. Chocolate is toxic. Macadamia nut is toxic. Coffee is toxic. Xylitol is toxic. You are navigating a minefield just to give them a treat that will likely give them severe diarrhea an hour later. Why cause them that discomfort? They don't crave the ice cream. They crave the experience of sharing with you. You can replicate that with nice cream, frozen blended bananas, or simple ice cubes made of beef broth. They get the cold, refreshing treat without the stomach cramps. Number 9 is something we eat every single day, and we often toss a crust to the dog without thinking: bread. Whether it's a morning toast crust or a piece of a dinner roll. Here's the issue. Bread is essentially a sponge of empty calories. It offers your dog no nutritional value, no vitamins, no proteins they need. It is just yeast and sugar. For a dog, this ferments in the stomach. In large quantities or with raw dough, this fermentation creates gas. Now, in a human, gas is just uncomfortable. In a dog, particularly large breeds with deep chests, gas can cause the stomach to twist, a condition called bloat or gastric dilatation volvulus. This is 100% fatal without immediate surgery. The stomach twists, cutting off blood supply to the organs. Even in small amounts, the yeast and sugar feed the bad bacteria in the gut, leading to allergies and yeast infections in their ears and paws. If your dog smells like corn chips or is constantly scratching their ears, look at the carbs you are feeding them. That innocent piece of bread might be the culprit. Now, number 10. I need you to pause and really listen to this one, because it is the most baffling and dangerous food on the list. Grapes and raisins. It makes no sense to us. Grapes are healthy fruit, right? They're full of water and vitamins. But for dogs, grapes and raisins are like kryptonite. And the terrifying part is that scientists still do not know exactly what substance in the grape causes the reaction. But we know the result: sudden, acute kidney failure. And it is not dose-dependent. This means that for some dogs, a single grape, just one dropped on the kitchen floor, can shut down their kidneys completely. It is a game of Russian roulette. You might have a friend whose dog ate a grape and was fine, but your dog might eat one and be fighting for their life tomorrow. The symptoms often don't show up immediately. They might seem fine, then become lethargic, stop eating, and by the time you realize something is wrong, the kidney damage is irreversible. Raisins are even worse because they are concentrated grapes. Never, ever take this risk. If you see a grape on the floor, dive for it like it's a grenade. It is not worth the risk. Number 11 brings us to the base of almost all our cooking: onions and garlic. They make our food taste good. They are in our sauces, our soups, our rubs, and our processed foods. But inside the canine body, the compounds in onions and garlic, thiosulfate, do something horrific. They attach themselves to the dog's red blood cells and literally burst them. It causes a condition called hemolytic anemia. Imagine their blood losing the ability to carry oxygen. It is a slow suffocation of their cells. Your dog won't collapse instantly. They will just get weaker. Their gums will turn pale. Their urine might turn dark or reddish. They will seem tired, lethargic, out of breath. And because it happens gradually, you might not link it to that bit of spaghetti sauce or that leftover burger you gave them 2 days ago. Garlic is 5 times more potent than onion, but both are dangerous. Powdered forms, like those found in instant noodles or chips, are the most concentrated and deadly. Keep your spices to yourself. Your dog's palate doesn't need them, and their blood cells certainly can't handle them. Finally, number 12, a danger that lurks in the vegetable bin: green potatoes and nightshades. We often toss potato peels, or an old potato that has started to sprout, into the compost, or maybe we drop a piece of raw potato while cooking. Raw potatoes, especially those with a green tint or sprouts, contain solanine. This is a natural defense mechanism for the plant, but for your dog, it is a neurotoxin. It blocks the chemical that nerves use to send signals. Eating this can cause vomiting, confusion, and heart arrhythmias. It affects the very rhythm of their life. Cooking reduces the solanine, but it doesn't always eliminate it if the potato was green to begin with. And let's be honest, we usually cook potatoes with butter, salt, and milk. All things we've already established are bad. If you want to give a tuber, sweet potatoes, cooked plain, no skin, are a superfood for dogs. Regular white potatoes, especially raw or green, are a risk you don't need to take. I know reading this might feel heavy. I know there is a knot in your stomach right now as you remember a time you gave them a piece of ham or let them lick a yogurt lid. I know that feeling. It's a mix of love and sudden, sharp regret. But please, Do not let guilt paralyze you. That is not why we are here. We are here because you love them enough to learn. You love them enough to change. Think about it this way. Dogs cannot speak. They cannot tell you, "Hey, my stomach hurts when I eat that," or "I feel dizzy." They trust us implicitly. They look at that food in your hand and they believe that if you are giving it to them, it must be safe. That trust is a sacred contract. And today, by learning these 12 foods, you have just upgraded your ability to protect that trust. You have become a guardian, not just a feeder. So here is what I want you to do. Go to your pantry, look at your labels, make those small swaps. Trade the bacon for boiled chicken. Trade the grapes for blueberries. Trade the store-bought treats for a simple piece of carrot. These small choices, made day after day, add up to years of extra life. They add up to more tail wags, more walks, and more sparkling eyes that are clear and pain-free. I want to hear from you because this community is about support, not judgment. In the comments below, please tell me the name of your dog. Let's fill the comment section with the names of the souls we are promising to protect today. Whether it's a Bella, a Max, a Charlie, or a Luna, write their name down as a pledge that you will watch over their bowl with a little more care starting today. And if you found this helpful, if it made you pause and think, please subscribe. Not for the numbers, but so we can keep having these conversations. There is so much more to learn about the hidden language of their health, and I want you there with us for every discovery. Because at the end of the day, they are not just pets, they are family, and family deserves the best we can give.